Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Path of Exile 2, the new patch. And after 3 days of testing, I can finally present my build guide for this build. Titan Warrior, Mobility Leap Slam-Boneshatter, and then single target Earthshatter Hammer of the Gods. It's probably one of the best clearing builds that you can play. The Warrior is in a very good position. Single target is very good too, and it's very tanky too. So what is the plan? I'm going to start like always with gameplay. So I'm going to show you guys a Citadel tier 4. That's difficulty level +4 from the start until the end. Then I'm going to show you guys the gems, the skill tree, and at the end, very important, I will explain to you guys all the mechanics that are in this build that you need to understand. So enjoy the gameplay. If you don't like it, you can just close the video. Under this video, I will post a link to Path of Building. So you can just open it in Path of Building too, and everything is there. The tree skill is there. The gems are there that you need to use. So enjoy the gameplay, and I see you guys back after the gameplay.
Weak. Weakling. Time. One way or another, this ends here. The era of the Faradun is now!
Submit! You are finished!
I can't yet. The era of the Faradun is now! don't have time for this. Sands, bend to my will. Impede my enemies.
I need more time.
The era of the Faradun is now! For, damn you! Our gift to you! The Manaketh will pay! You will not win!
I can't yet.
Grind you into
Bless
dust!
the earth!
We will blot out the sun! Endless hate! Our gift to you! The era of the Faradun is now! Wins to me! You will not win! Asala!
This is not over. Not yet.
Okay guys, the next is the gems, so I'm just going to show you guys the link. I will explain at the end of the video a little bit more in detail this, but here I'm just going to show you guys it because it's very easy to follow then the build. So we are going to start with Boneshatter, so take 20 quality, magnified effect, impact shockwave, reach, devastate and armor explosion. For the leap slam, we got holy descent, rage, brink and maim. For the hammer of the gods, we got fist of fire, heavy swing, exploit weakness, rage forge and concentrated effect. Then for the Earthshatter, be sure that you take here maximum quality because you get extra fissures, very important. So we got here martial tempo, upheaval, splinter, heft and aftershock. Then for the cries, the first one infernal cry, we got here premeditations. Then we got enraged war cry, tireless, seismic cry, corrupting cry and dazing cry. Then for the herald of ash, we got cannibalism, we got fire mastery, we got vitality, berserk is just berserk, and then if you want to use this instead of berserk, or if you got more spirit than me, scavenge planting with resistance. So that was it for the gems. Now I will explain to you guys the skill tree. Okay guys, the talent tree, so what would I do? First, the first 4 points I would take hulking form, so those 4. Then the next one, you're probably now in maps, you take this one. So mysterious lineage, and then the last one is Earthbreaker. So if you start this build, the first thing that I would do is go straight away to resolute techniques. It will make your life a lot easier, you will hit everything by now if you take this one. If you wait with it, you're playing in crit build, and if you don't have the accuracy, you are not going to hit a lot of stuff. So be sure that you take that. Okay, let's get started. So you just take this. This is not that important at the start. This is important a little bit later, armor. So this cluster is the attack speed one. I would take this one right away. Why? Because they do everything that they can to slow down the warrior. Everything that you take on nodes is reduced attack speed. Therefore, I didn't take them. So here, this is important. Your leap slam will go a lot faster. You hit a lot faster. So it will make life a lot easier. The slow motion playing of the warrior, if you take already this node, it's already a lot better. This is life regeneration node. At the start, not really that important, because I think you will do just fine with this one if you cannot survive. Because, for example, if you're on a boss in the campaign and your flask is gone and you are out of life and you cannot recover it anymore, take this note. Get 1 piece or 2 pieces of items where you got life regeneration per second, and you will be fine on every boss. You just need to take your time, run away, regenerate, and you will be okay. Then this one, once again, increase skill speed. It's just the same like attack speed. So this will make your life a lot easier, clearing wise, sleep slamming wise, everything. So then you got a little bit further. I would take this one first, because you are going to need to build up strength for the Giant's Blood. So at the start you need to get Giant's Blood full force. What does that mean? You don't have the reduced attribute. So what is Giant's Blood going to do? So it's going to allow you to do dual wielding two-handed weapons. So therefore I can use a two-handed mace and a shield. But you need to have the triple amount of strength from that weapon. So you can see here that I need 444 strength. And I got a minus attribute requirement. So normally you probably need 510 at the start, because you don't start with a mace like this. So you need to build up strength, and this is a very good cluster for that. Then for the rage, at the start that's not really important. I would take this first. This is important, a little bit more life. And then you come to this area. This you can take right away. It's not a problem. It's going to boost your DPS, mace DPS. Then you go here to the top. This is all a little bit later. So here you got the Warcry, here you got the Warcry. You can start taking that because you start with Earthshatter too, so that's not so bad. Then you come here. This is important too. This is a very big wheel to get your AoE bigger. Bigger AoE means Boneshatter is going to kill a lot of more enemies. This wheel is for the resistance, so +1 to the resistance, so it's really good. By the way, here I got a jewel. I put here corrupted blood cannot be inflicted because I like to not get corrupted blood. So you can see here, this is DPS, this is DPS, all DPS, and I'm using this Time Lost Diamond. I'm not sure that this is anymore in the game. I saw on the new league that there is only one that they are selling, but it's probably very hard to get. So why is this so good? So every small cluster in an area is going to give +1 to increased life. And that's not so bad. If this is not anymore in the game, yeah, you just need to go with lower life. You're only going to get 5,000 instead of 5,300. You're going to feel it a little bit, but it's not that much, but I like to use it. Then this is very important too. So at Act 3 you will see that you are going to consume a lot of mana more, and it's really hard to keep up the mana consumption. So get Blood Magic and your problem will be solved. Because this build got 1200 life regeneration with Holy Descent, 500-600 base. So it's not a problem. But this is going to prevent that you suddenly cannot use your spells anymore and you spam mana flask. Just get this one. Then this is DPS 2, DPS, and then you come here. And why I went here? Because this build got a shitload of block. Block is one of the best defensive stance for tank, and this is a very good one. So why I took this one? Because this is the biggest single target skill for getting increased block chances, 30%. You lose 25 reduced global defensive, but that's not really a problem, and this one is very good too. So you get increased damage for chance to block. So that's it. If you want to get a little bit more HP, you can do this too. So Grand Spectrum is still in the game. They stack on each other. So what does that mean? So you can take this, and you can take this. So you can get maximum 3, I think. And if you stack in every jewel slot here 1, so that means if you got 1, they are counting for 2 more % life. But if you got 2, they are counting for 4. If you got 3, every is counting for 6. That means if you stack them in all 3 slots, you got in total 3 times multiplied 6, 18% more life. And that's a lot. So you can do this. This is, by the way, 1 to 2 divines each. So I can show you. Yeah, no, I'm not going to show it because I need to get this one. But that's how you can do it. So that was it for the talent tree. Now I'm going to talk about the gear. Next part, the gear, and that's very straight on the gear. So you got the maul. What is important on the maul? Increased physical damage, add physical damage, increased attack speed. And then the reduced attribute requirement is very important too. So at the start, what is the best maul? Just take this one. So this is the go maul in leveling. Why? Because you got strikes deal splash damage to targets within 1.5 meter. It's going to destroy packs. This is going to be very good if you need to go to the chapter. So don't hesitate. There is one maul for leveling. That's this one. Straight on, just take it. What can you still get on the maul if you got a lot of money? Strength is very good too, for Giant's Blood, of course. The runes here, 25 increased physical damage, 2 times 50% increased physical damage. Then the helmet. So all the pieces of gear will always be the same, the armors. Life, strength, life regeneration if possible, and the resistance. You just need to cap the resistance. That's very important, 75%. My house, I still need to get it higher to 75%, and then you're good to go. Always take armor bases. Why is that? Because you cannot stack dexterity and intelligence. So always take armor. So the problem is that dexterity will need, evasion based will need dexterity, but you cannot do that. So every node need to be strength, otherwise you cannot get Giant's Blood. So always go with armor based. So you can see it here, helmet. On every rune on the armors is Soul Core of Jikwani. Increased maximum life. All red ones. So you always get the same. You got life, strength, and then resistance. Rarity is not important anymore. Gloves just the same. Life, strength if possible, resistance. And boots is very important, increased movement speed. The game is very slow, so get the highest tier. Once again, strength, life, resistance. So you can see it here. Then for the chest, this is very important. Get this base. Get the base with the explicit here, I think they call it. Regenerate percentage of your maximum life. You can go to 2%. Then you need to get a shitload of armor, life again. And here is the life regeneration per second, very important. So you can see that at the moment I got base 504. If I jump with Holy Descent, I go to 900. So that's the best survivability you can have after block and life. Life regeneration in this game at the moment. So be sure that you got this base, that's very important. Then I'm going to talk about the shield. The shield is very important because for your block chance. So the cap is 75%, I got 63. So what do you need to have on this one? Of course, increased block chance. So you need to have, this is going to increase your block chance. That's the most important. Then you can get armor. Life is very important too. I like the additional physical damage reduction and then resistance once again to get to 75 cap on every resistance. So now I'm going to talk about the belt, life again, resistance, and here you can get life regeneration on too. And then for the amulet. So what is the anointment? So that's the enchant. That's Titanic. I still took this, so it's this one. Why? For the stun build up, the stun threshold, and the increased strength. Otherwise, once again, Giant's Blood is very hard to get. So I took this amulet. Is this still good? Not so good anymore because rarity is not good. If I would change it, I would just go with the Bloodstone amulet just to get a little bit more life, or you can go with the attribute ones or the spirit ones. Because rarity is not anymore that important. What do you need to have here? Life again. Life regeneration is very important. And then the percent decrease maximum life. This is the only item that can roll that. But you will need to pay for it. And then you can get to all attributes really good too, once again, for Giant Blood. So that's the amulet. Then for the rings. Strength, life, resistance. I would take on one ring leech as physical damage, very important because this is the only source, and the second ring is just the same. So that is it for the gear. Ultimate Flask, recovery applies instantly and increased charges gate. For the charm, it depends how many slots you got. I take this one, so plus 18% to chaos resistance, because my chaos resistance is not capped. So therefore I took it. It depends. They are very good. For example, if you are stunned, you can take that one. If one of your resistance is not capped, of course, take that charm. Then for the mana, it does not matter because we don't use mana. So that was it for the equipment. So overall, very simple. Life, resistance, armor-based, life regeneration. And that's it. So now I'm going to show you guys all the mechanics step by step and how they work in this build. The first mechanic that I'm going to show you guys is why are you destroying packs? There are two reasons for it. That's Sleep Slam and Boneshatter. So they work really good with each other. I hope that they are not going to nerf that in the future, but it's possible that they are going to nerf this. So everything depends on stunning enemies. So how does it work? So you can see Leap Slam is a very good spell to stun enemies. So it got 86 more stun built up. It's going to give 500% more stun built up if you hit an enemy that got broken armor, and you can jump around. The only problem that you can have is that it's not going fast enough. So if you start this game and you Leap Slam, you're in slow motion. Therefore we got so much attack speed on the tree. So I will show you guys. I'm at the moment 1.19 seconds for a Leap Slam. At the start you can just stock martial tempo on it. So later on you need to put it on Earthshatter, but at the start you can do this. Then you will get a lot faster on Leap Slam. So what is Leap Slam going to do? Leap Slam got one purpose, that is just to stun enemies. Not really stun enemies, prime enemies. So you will see that if you jump on an enemy at the top, you will see that I can show you guys that, by the way. So I completed this map. I can do this map really quick. Do I got something that is good? Yeah, I will do it like this. So you will see with jumping with Leap Slam, you will see at the top a stun bar of enemies. So it's very hard to see because you probably kill enemies before you can see it, but I will show you guys it. So you just go into jump, and you will see here at the top, you see this, that yellow bar. So that's the stun bar. It goes from 0 to 100%. And that's very important that you understand that. So you can prime enemies. What does priming mean? That means that on a certain level of the stun bar, you will prime an enemy depending on the rarity. So what is priming an enemy? I will show you guys it. So for, you can see it here. So for a white mob, it's 40%, for a magic 50, and for a rare 60, and for a unique 70. So that's very important. So you just go into prime the enemies with Leap Slam. So you will see Holy Descent, that's just for extra healing. Very important. Take that as soon as possible to survive in the campaign. Then you got Rage. Then you got Brink. So what is the problem? We need to create a heavy stun with Boneshatter. But the problem is, if you don't have Brink, you will heavy stun the enemies with Leap Slam. So this is a new gem, and this is one of the best implementations of a new gem that I ever saw in Path of Exile 2. This is going to allow you to just destroy packs the entire time. So be sure that you take that, otherwise you heavy stun with your Leap Slam. And then you got Maim. Maim is just here to slow the enemies. So we are going to prime the enemies. We cannot heavy stun them with leap. And why is that important for Boneshatter? So if you see Boneshatter, attack enemies with a melee strike, the strike will cause a heavy stun on enemies that are primed for stun. So that means that with Boneshatter, you can heavy stun enemies that are primed. So you don't need to get a heavy stun with the stun bar totally full, because if you got 100% on the stun bar, you will create a heavy stun, but not with Boneshatter. So that means if you see a white pack at 40, you already can heavy stun them. If you see a boss at 70, with Boneshatter, you can already stun them, heavy stun them, and that makes it so strong. And then we go to the next one, Boneshatter. So Boneshatter is going to give an aftershock on heavy stun. So you jump on a pack, there is one white mod, 40% primed, Boneshatter, heavy stun, and that is going to do all this damage. And then we got it boosted with a lot of area of effect, with magnified effect, with reach. This is a new one too. Be sure that you take this one. So supported skill have 80% less accuracy rating against enemies within 2 meters. This is not important because we got resolute techniques, but we get 35% more area of effect. And then we are going to do devastate and armor explosion. So you will break the armor on a heavy stun. You will always do heavy stun with Boneshatter, and your armor explosion is going to do a little bit more damage once again. In combination with Herald of Ash, that is going to do overkill. This is the best clearing what you can do. And then you get something like this. So I jump in a pack, white mods. They are now primed, Boneshatter, bang. Do you guys see it? Once again. And therefore, so much things are exploding, and therefore this is probably the best clearing class on this moment. So here I need to jump a little bit more. So you can see this is a yellow one. Yellow ones, they require I think 60, that's rare, and still you can just blow them to pieces. And I think by accident. So here you can see they are a little bit harder to stun. I need to watch it that I don't die. So that takes a little bit more, but normally what you need to do is you just, if you see a yellow one, you just clutter up everything around it, you jump on them, and then you do this. This is a very strong one, but still he got hit for a lot. You just can kite them too. So you just take those dudes, yeah, they are now dead. You just get them around, you do your Boneshatter. So let's wait a little bit. Here we go again. So we hit him. That's what you can do. So that's very important. So that was the first mechanic, one of the most important ones to understand. Now I'm going to explain to you guys the Hammer of the Gods. Okay guys, Hammer of the Gods. So they changed the mechanic. Hammer of the Gods is very important to use. It's a very big DPS boost. So be sure that you do the rotation good. So now you can get rid of the cooldown on Hammer of the Gods if you build up Glory. So you can see it here. But you only can get Glory by heavy stuns. But that's not really a problem on mapping for us, because I told you guys, Boneshatter is always doing heavy stuns. So you build up Glory really easy on mapping. So if you see a rare mob that is too hard, just throw your Hammer of the Gods on it. That's very important. It's another story on bosses. So on map bosses I didn't saw a problem. On Pinnacle bosses I saw the problem starting if you get to +3, +4 on those bosses. They are very hard to stun. So you probably need to go with Earthshatter on them. So what do you need to do? So if you come to a map boss, you just jump on the map boss, you start using your Earthshatter, and you will see the bar gets full. The moment that you see that he's primed at 70%, you use Boneshatter. But then you need to understand what you need to do. So on that moment, the boss is laying on the ground. And then it's very important that you use Seismic Cry. Why Seismic Cry? For this, perform a damaging Warcry, knocking back nearby enemies. If a heavy stunned enemy is hit, your next slam is empowered to perform an additional aftershock. That means you will use 2 times Hammer of the Gods. So always be sure So stun bar primed 70% on the boss. You do Boneshatter. He's laying on the ground. You do Sesame Cry one time. You do Infernal Cry because you're going to boost the Hammer of the Gods. And then you do Hammer of the Gods. And you will see always 2 times a hit. And that's what you need to do. So that's very, very important. Okay guys, the last part, and then I'm going to show you guys a rotation on the boss. So Earthshatter is very straight on. So Earthshatter is just going to throw fissures, and then if you do a cry, you will let them explode. So this is very important martial tempo, because you need to use upheaval. An upheaval is going to give this 20% less attack speed. So if you don't have this, it's very slow to use it. Do you guys see the difference? So this is a key. And then you can just bang, and this is happening. Then you got here Splinter. Why is that important? So you're going to break the armor. Breaking armor is a lot easier now. And why do you want to break the armor? Because enemies that got a broken armor, they will take 20% more physical damage. That means 20% more damage. Therefore, it's here. So Splinter is important too. Heft just to get more DPS and Aftershock. So what is going to happen? You will see this. So this was an Aftershock. Do you guys see it? Here was one again. It's very important. So be sure that you do it. And that's Earthshatter. Earthshatter, very important. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the cries. So Infernal Cry is very important because it's going to boost your Earthshatter and all your DPS. So be sure that you got this one. Premeditation, 15% more damage. Enraged Warcry is very important too. So therefore, I took all those notes for the Rage. So you always need to be up at 30-34 Rage. So if you hit enemies, you will get it. It will, you lose a lot less fast your Rage. And that's all because of this node. You got on Hammer of the Gods, Rage Forge, just straight on 30% more damage. But of course you need to get the Rage, and then for this node. Enraged Warcry. Then you got here Tireless, very important too. Attack Empowered, this is a new one. I think Attack Empowered by supported skills have 30% chance to not lower. So if you use Infernal Cry, you see here too. There is a 30% chance that you don't lose it like now. I didn't lose it. And that's because of this. Then for Sesame Cry, that's straight on. This is important too. Why? Dazing Cry. Dazing Cry is going to do daze, and you will get 50% more stun built up. Stun built up is very important to Boneshatter the boss and to do your Hammer of the Goddess. And then Herald of Ash is just straight on. Berserker, very important because I got non-stop Rage available for me. Grants 57 increased Rage effect, is very big. So for every Rage you get 1 attack power. With this one, 57 more. That's a powerhouse, that one. So that was it, guys. So I'm going now to the boss, and I will show you guys on the boss a little bit the rotation, and then I will end the video. Last part of the video, guys. So I'm in the same map. So for packs, it's really simple. So you just jump on them, and you do Boneshatter. What I would suggest is that you jump with the Leap Slam and you roll away, just to be sure. So that's all what you need to do. If you see a yellow pack that can be a little bit problematic, just keep jumping on the head. So you at some point you will prime them, and then you can just Boneshatter them. If that does not work and they are a little bit too strong, don't hesitate, just throw your Hammer of the Gods on them. So Hammer of the Gods is for me here, so you can see it here. I can put it here for you guys that you can see it. So that's very simple playing, it's not that hard. So always, you need to get the hang a little bit of it. If you come on a boss, and you will see that my Rage at the top is almost every time at the maximum. So you stack it really fast. So here is the boss. So what do you need to do on the boss? So first of all, pump your Infernal Cry. and then you just need to start doing Earthshatter. If it is a hard boss, be sure that you use your Leap Slam for the extra. So now you can see this boss is almost primed. So what we are going to do is we are going to do Boneshatter. Now you do Seismic Cry, you do Infernal Cry, and you do Hammer of the Gods. That's 1, 2. So you can see that that was even 3 times. And then you do just the same. Earthshatter, you just throw a little bit of spikes, you use it. You can see that the bar is getting nicely full again. I was a little bit too soon. Seismic Cry, here we go again. I was a little bit too late with my Seismic Cry because he was stunned a little bit too fast. So jump again for the extra life regeneration on Leap Slam. So we built it up. I'm not going, yeah, a little bit too soon again. So it stuns just too fast. And here we go. That's how simple it is. And this was, I was not going 100% because I was waiting. So very simple to do it. I was just a little bit too late on the Boneshatter, but that's not really a problem. If you, by accident, have his stun and without Boneshatter, Seismic Cry, Infernal Cry, Hammer of the Gods, and that's it. So in this couple of minutes, 1 minute, I used 3 times Hammer of the Gods. And this is, by the way, the highest tier that you can play. This is tier 4. You cannot boost higher. You will not get higher difficulty on map bosses. That was it, guys. Enjoy the build. Very good build. I'm going to make now the Smith of Kitava. I'm already leveling. I'm not sure that I'm going to play the new league because I don't understand what is so important about the new league. You got everything on standard and here I got the currency to test build. So that was it. Thanks for watching. Have fun. Bye bye.